Still Daybreak on Trust Television. We now enter the discussion segment of the program where we'll be snowballing on the conversation that we had from the Daybreak interactive session. And this time we'll be having a security expert with us to discuss, of course, some of these developing issues. Nigeria, a country of over 200 million people, faces complex security challenges ranging from insurgency and banditry to kidnapping and cybercrime. Of course, the Nigeria Police Force tasked with maintaining law and order faces significant pressures to effectively respond to these threats. However, concerns persist regarding the adequacy of policing in Nigeria. Now, joining us via video chat from Jos to discuss the developments, especially around the impact of these problems, is Dr. Tanko Ahmed from the Cosmopolitan University and also a security analyst. Doctor, welcome to the program.
Good morning. I'm pleased to be here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, viewers.
Yes, indeed. Doctor, one thing that comes to the mind of quite a number of Nigerians who holistically understand the problems of securing Nigeria is the welfare of police officers. Can you speak to how this said welfare issue has, in one way or the other, caused some of the breakdown of processes that we've seen within the policing structure, and of course hindering them from carrying out their constitutional rights and duties to citizens?
Okay, let me start by saying that when you talk about welfare, ordinary management principles put welfare as the kind of treatment or condition you will provide to somebody to discharge his or her own duty. Going beyond that, the issue of the police welfare is not different, or it cannot be divorced from the general welfare of the people. Because policing itself is the basic primary activities of everyone and in the people. If you observe or you redefine what is safety, what is security, it's the job of everybody. But now you have a whole institution, you have a whole gamut of personnel with different kind of professions and other things, asking them to perform policing work in an environment where welfare itself is not a priority to the people. If everybody is happy, there will be less crime. If there is welfare, good housing, good road, everything, of course, police barracks, police salary, police uniform, police behavior, police family, everything will be fine. So I would say here now from the beginning, in policing, police welfare is tied to the welfare of the people. If people are not enjoying welfare, if there is no well-being, there is no way you can have a police that is balanced, that will deliver its own work.
Okay, Doctor, a report has revealed that the entire Nigerian police force comprises of some 370 to 380,000 police officers. Now, 150,000 of those officers are serving some 1.09% of the rich of the rich, the richest of the rich in the class of the Nigerian society system, meaning that the remaining around 99 or 98.9% of Nigerians are left to contend with the around 150,000 police officers that are left to provide
I can hear you.
And protection services for them. Do you not think that there is some sort of injustice in this balance?
It is worse than injustice. That is police abuse. You know, they have been accusing police of abusing their uniform and other things. The authorities or those that are in charge of governance, if you are referring to members of House of Assembly, Executive Council, and other places, the police as an institution is being grossly abused. Abuse here means misuse. In addition to misuse, the police is being humiliated, to be tied down to just few people, while some of its other job, not only that they are not attended to, most of the job that is supposed to be done by the police along the highways now are taken over by various uniformed people. So the police is abused in and out. So what do you expect? No matter how much money you pump in there, maybe you can say that the ones that are charged with taking care of these very few people, because of resources with them, maybe they will have vehicle to work, they will have uniform and other things. How many of us now can approach the orderly of a big man in your own area to report about crime in your house? You see, the whole system, it's a system of abuse. And the police is the key victim here. The police is abused the way you can abuse a vulnerable child under your care. The police is grossly abused by authorities. Yes.
Okay, Doctor, would you say that the police has been suffering these injustices that you've mentioned in ways that they cannot come out, to explain, such that we are seeing it even affecting the funding? Because one would expect that, 406 civilians to one police officer is the quota that was provided by the United Nations. But 370,000 by a long stretch cannot cater for 200 million Nigerians. Would you say that the police is experiencing this sort of underfunding by the political class so as to keep them in check, or to use them the way that they see fit?
Yeah, of course. If I say this is even an overstatement, you can see the way these things are happening. Not only the people that are misusing them and abusing and they're taking the fund. How many times have you driven from Jos to Abuja, Abuja to Kaduna? How many policemen you saw on the road among uniform people? I will give you an example. Some of my postgraduate students this past semester that we are on holiday now, usually when I teach, I take my postgraduate students to places where we can actually demand explanation or to see how things are done. This time around, my own students of intelligence and global security, we discovered within the existing 2019 national security strategy, a whole national security strategy, it fails to address the issue of public security. So we say, where are we going to get this? From the police. And now we discovered that the police even has National Institute for Police Studies with a director general and experts, uniformed police and everybody. That is the brain box of the police. They keep on talking about this. Nobody wants to know about public security. Now, my conversation can even branch into ethical ethics of the profession. If politicians have the power to appoint who will control the police, then thereafter abuse the police, because these people that are in position, they are afraid to talk about them. A simple DPO now can implement his own work. Let's say, God forbid, bad thing. Let's assume that a senator is driving with his convoy of the police. He knocks down a young girl in a village. The DPO will come and salute the senator. Why don't you arrest the senator, lock him up, take him to court within 48 hours? Look, if we have policemen claiming their own position, claiming their own professional responsibility, claiming where they are and be satisfied with even the bad condition they are now, I'm telling you, the entire society will make a U-turn. Yes.
All right, Doctor, while we continue to discuss about the situation of the Nigerian police in terms of welfare, in terms of the capacity to do the job within their whims and caprices, and of course within the confines of the resources available to them. We've seen time and time again where Nigerian police officers, do exceptionally well outside the shores of Nigeria. Talk about peacekeeping missions in Liberia, in Syria alone, in the Gambia. Talk about competitions, different kind of competitions, be it sports or intellectual competitions. We've seen the Nigerian police represent and fly the Nigerian flag high on the international scene. Why is the situation so different here in Nigeria? Is the problem so systemic that it has to do so much with the atmosphere here in Nigeria than the actual police officers and individuals on police uniforms themselves?
Yeah, you said it all. Outside the country, the police are given a specific instruction policing job. It was demanded. It has been demanded from them, be professional, and the resources provided. Something like this does not happen in this country. I have a lot of my mates. They had medals and recognition when they go out to do work as far away as Cambodia. Do you know the Nigerian police were key to the successful election in Cambodia a very long time ago? The officers that went from here were not even big police commissioners or something like that. Young SPs and other things, they are now retired DIGs and other things. They have to go through the humiliation of serving at home where you are not appreciated, where all other agencies are trying to take away your job. I will give you another example. The other day I was driving down to Abuja on one single trip. Road safety officers stopped me. So he was pointing his finger down to the ground in front of me. That is, he was forcing me to stop. Instead of waving, this is what they are asked to do. You wave down people. When you wave like this along the road, even a mad dog driving will stop for you. When you point your finger to the road and you look menacing, even an angel will go against you. So I simply parked now and I asked the guy, are you a security officer or a safety officer? The first answer the officer gave me, road safety officer said, Oga, Baba, you are embarrassing me. I said, embarrassing you? So you are not a safety officer. You are a security officer. Are you a policeman? He kept quiet. So I called the other colleagues and I explained to them, don't point your finger to people, even the police that you are accusing, that they are harassing people. These are some of the things they say. So the difference now is outside, the police are appreciated. They could do their job. Inside here, the police are not appreciated. Let me tell you, in every community, not only the uniform job, the policeman or the DPO is the #1 court of justice to people. Go to the nearest DPO's office where you are. You will see that the DPO settles quarrels, family quarrels. He goes after people who steal. He goes after a child that is rude to his parents. All sorts of things. Who is paying the police to do this job? You go there, ask them. They don't even have money for ordinary stationery in the office. What more of fuel in the car? But now, if you scream of a crime and the police does not respond, you say it's bad. First of all, you don't give the police the opportunity to work, and then also you condemn the police over and over again. Okay. Who can stand this?
Doctor, it's seeming like a double jeopardy for the police officers, where either back and forth.
It is double jeopardy.
Earlier, you spoke about the National Institute of Policing Strategy. I want you to speak a little more about that institute, especially with regards to that institute developing the standard operating procedure for police officers. Does it have the mandate also to do things in terms of providing strategy, in terms of taking care of police welfare, so we could see our police officers better kitted in their numbers and also doing the great service that they're expected to do to Nigerians across the country?
Yeah, of course. When I introduced the issue of the National Institute for Police Affairs, I also caption it as the brain box of the police. What does a brain box do in a car? The brain box coordinates and wants and takes care of one thing or the other. The National Institute for Police Affairs is building the intellectual or cognitive or thinking infrastructure for police people to deliver their job, also including the general public. It is a center not only for training, it is for doctoring, it is for research. You need to go there and see a lot of things that they are doing. And I will suggest to you next time when you are talking about police, look up the National Institute for Police Affairs and see a lot of things that they have been doing. But a lot of things they have been doing is the same thing with all other agencies. At the end of the day, whether it is NIPS, whether it is NISS, whether it is NDC and other things, the police has to create ways to defend its own professional function and ethics against those that are out to mess it up by misuse and abuse, even if those people are in charge of running the police.
All right, Doctor. Now, you spoke earlier as well about interagency collaboration. It's no news that the Nigerian police, aside being grossly underfunded, is also grossly understaffed to carry out its mandates to Nigerians. But that is where interagency collaboration comes in. I mean, another force or another organization or agency which has a seeming liking to the Nigerian police force is the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. Why are we not seeing more of the Nigerian police and the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps working together, in order to achieve these mandates, so we could see them do more work and see more presence in different communities in Nigeria than we are seeing right now? Do you think that there is a seeming problem between these agencies collaborating with each other to achieve joint success?
Okay, as a teacher that I am now, usually questions like this, I like to treat them from their own conceptual basis. What do we know about these things? How do we understand them? How do we accept the way they are going to work? You see, commonly now, at least in the classroom, we are discouraging the use of the term national security architecture. And architecture is something like a house or a design where everybody has his own portion and you behave the way you wish. In place of national security architecture, we are trying to make people now to start thinking of national security ecosystem. What's the difference between architecture and ecosystem? Architecture is definite, is static, is something that is designed and put there. While ecosystem refers to interconnectivity. It is not just the issue of interagency cooperation now. We have gone beyond that. It has to be interagency, natural interconnectivity. I will give you an example. Now, if the police, let's say, they require intelligence in running their day-to-day activities, now they say the road safety is on the road. This road safety is made up of graduates of sociology, political science, everything. They can't just go there on the road and be telling people not to speed or something. They should be observing them, building information for almost everybody in a society. Now, if the road safety will assume some kind of primary intelligence collection, analysis, and distribution to other agencies, all these other agencies would start depending on your security. Your security would be respected. The same thing with civil defense. Civil defense now, the first thing now, everybody wants to show that they have uniform. Secondly, now they have guns. Thirdly, you drag in to show people that it is by force you can maintain or run society. Of course, that is correct too, because the society is becoming violent. But then there should be specific manual which you can feed to the general public. This manual now, let's say you and I driving down to Abuja, when we see road safety, we know that the manual of road safety, they are just doing 5 functions. When we see civil defense, they are doing 5 functions. Even the VIO, even Castella, even the police, the soldiers, and everybody. If we know what they do, the VIO now cannot demand from you what the police should do and vice versa. If everybody is serving like that, on public demand, I am making this expression on public demand. Let's say we begin to demand that everybody does his work. You will see that the civil defense, the police, the military, everybody will be doing their own work in such a way that they will depend on each other from their own professional approach to the function that they do. The public will appreciate them. They will feel appreciated. They will do their work and they will work together. But not coming to TV station every day, NTA, Arise, everywhere. People will come in there calling themselves expert. You think security agencies will coordinate, will collaborate, will cooperate on paper and TV screaming? No. We have to bring in the people here too. Let them begin to challenge the professional relevance of all these people that are serving us. By doing that, we demand professional relevance. We then begin to respect you. Look, we are Nigerians. We can even take care of these people along the road. I mean, take care here, even in the communities. In not distant past, you send an officer to serve in the community, even if it is a police post. People will make sure that his family eats well and do other things. It's not bribing. It's community support. This support can turn out to be societal support. Why are we screaming about democracy and then telling you that one single person is moving around with 30, 40 policemen just to go and attend naming ceremony in his village because he knows that some people will knock his head? Yes. What are we talking about? We are also to be blamed. Let's demand from the police, demand from the civil defense, demand from even the VIO. I'm saying VIO, see how VIO are harassing people in Abuja streets? Indeed. Yes. VIO thinks it's a policeman.
Indeed, Doctor. Well, these are some real challenges, but unfortunately, yes, while we hope that these challenges will be addressed as soon as possible, crime and criminality does not give us the opportunity of patience to wait for all of this to change and to happen. So on the side of Nigerians who continue to bear the brunt of the security implications of not having a police structure that supports to a large extent the rate of crime and criminality that's going on due to, of course, their own personal problems, what do you think can be done in the interim to address all of these issues so Nigerians continue to feel an extra sense of safety? I mean, you watched the video where the governor of Katsina State was talking about a local government with just 32 police officers, 9 guns, 5 of which are serviceable. How do you respond to that?
Well, there are a lot of implications to this, which I would like to sum them up on a responsibility for supporting our security agencies. What are these governors doing with their security votes, which we can't see, and they ran into billions? The same Katsina State governor also mentioned that they spent about 30 billion naira. You mean 30 billion naira, you can take out some part of it and make sure that guns are serviced, or guns are are purchased through the police? You buy a vehicle for them. What about the vehicle they buy for their own convoy? These are not things that are for the hearing of the public. Because the same governor that is complaining about the police, of course, he is enjoying the best of police services. Not only police services, it's being guarded by other policing agencies. I am making emphasis here by saying policing agencies. All these agencies that you see, they perform policing.
All right, Dr.
Yes.
Tanko Ahmed, thank you so much for your contributions on these developments, as especially with regards to policing in Nigeria, the issue faced by the Nigerian police force, and of course, with regards to improvement in its number of personnel. Dr. Tanko Ahmed is a lecturer from the Cosmopolitan University and also an expert in security analysis and strategy. It's been a pleasure having this conversation.
Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed, and do have a lovely day. We now go on a short break, and when we return, it'll be time to serve you what's on the front pages of select national dailies here in Nigeria. Join us again.